All right, guys, let's pivot a little bit and talk about some lessons that you've learned around taxes. Now, obviously, we live in Massachusetts, so we've learned a lot of lessons. I'm going to pick on you, Derek, because I know you love taxes. So, what would you say is a lesson that retirees learn too late when it comes to
They should have
taxes?
moved out of the state a long time ago. I'm just kidding. Kind of. Very simple one is even though there's still some things we can do, especially when they're getting ready to pull all their minimum distributions off their IRAs. I mean, between Keith, Matt, and I, and the advisors in this room, we'd probably have $1 million if we had $5 every time someone said, "Oh, I wish I came to you guys 15 years ago." Because there's so many things we could do. There's still a lot of things we can do, but a lot of times most folks come to us, they've saved in this big 401k IRA. It's all pre-tax. Now they're forced to take money out, minimum distributions, where if we can get ahead of it, there's so much more we can do if we can get 5-10 years of planning involved.
I think that's one of the biggest things that's changed in our careers too, or at least there's much more awareness now that 401ks and not having Roths, like I think when we first started, like, oh, you got to do an IRA, you got to do an IRA. You have to get that tax deduction. Do whatever you can to get that tax deduction when you're working. And I think everyone now knows that it really isn't the best thing you can do because, yeah, you might not spend as much as you did while working, but it's pretty dang close. And so, in other words, your tax bracket is most likely going to be similar to what it was while working. And so the idea that you come into retirement, like Derek was saying, with close to 99 or 95% of their retirement money in pre-tax dollars, people realize that the mistakes that they may have made 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah, and they kick the can down the road into an unknown tax rate. You know what I mean? That's not good planning. I would say that Massachusetts estate tax, I think a lot of people really don't know that much about it and different ways to potentially cure that, whether it's irrevocable trusts, gifting, ILETs, things along those lines. So a lot of people think their trusts also do cure it or they satisfy the need for long-term care. But these trusts aren't like magical pills that cure taxes and healthcare issues, things like that. You have to really know what you have and then do the proper planning on top of that trust to mitigate the inevitability of what you're going to have to pay.